I have had a rattle on this boat, and I figured out what it was. It's this big piece of oak board that sits up there, and I have some rubber edging that I didn't use around this boat that I could put on that board. I believe would stop that. I moved this board just to see if this had something to do with it. It didn't really, so I could put it back. The boat is, I've been in some really shallow water way up in there, and I'm going over here. There was a beaver dam up in this next cove, and I was thinking there was an osprey's nest out here, but I don't see it right now. But I'm going to go up to where the beaver dam was. We've still got water that's pretty high, so, you know, when I went in here before, I went in with a kayak, but I'm going to see if I can get up close enough to see how it's doing. I've learned a little bit about beavers since we found the dam over here. I kind of looked into it a little bit and found out a lot of information, good information. Apparently beavers are extraordinarily good for the environment. They're actually really good for human beings. If you've got beavers in the area, they do things that will make your area that you live in more suitable for you. So it's kind of nice to be able to come back here without having to row a kayak for a half hour or 45 minutes to get back in here. And as long as I go around the edges, I'm in the part with the trees, but I feel like as long as I go around the edges, I can, you know, pretty safely come through here. This little motor doesn't stick down much in the back. It's a shallow, pretty shallow boat, and it's a short shaft motor, so I think I can get away with a lot back in here, which is good. If I want to speed up a little bit, go along the edge here. Look at that, look like a dead fish in the water. I'm going to take a closer look at him, see what's going on over there. See him glowing over there. Let's see what that is. Could be a lure also. Might just be a fishing lure. Yeah, that's what it is, I think. Fishing lure. Let's get that. I could have left this running, it would have made it easier if I'd planned a little better. Let's crank it back up. Well, I didn't bring a knife with me. Should have, I guess. Maybe I should leave that. Come back for it later. It doesn't have any hooks on it or anything. You know what? It'll be here when I come back, right? Let's do that. Let's leave it. And I'll come back one day and get it when I have a knife. I'm gonna head on down to the beaver dam like I was started to. I like this old tree back here. I was planning to come out early this morning before the sun came up, but I slept late. I stayed up late last night because I couldn't get to sleep. Probably because I was kind of excited about getting out on the lake early this morning. And then when I did get up, it was time to get into the day. I needed to run some errands and do some things, so I didn't get out here super early. Now the beaver dam is right up there where you see that green across there, and when I was in my kayak, I could kayak up around the edge of it, and I can tell by the color of the water that it's getting pretty shallow here. But I can't see the bottom yet, so I think I'm okay. I'm gonna try to come up to this corner and stand in the boat and look up and see if there's still a little pond up in there. Boy, this is pretty, isn't it? Yes, it is. Mighty pretty. I'm just going to cut this off. I may leave that board out of the middle. I kind of like just being able to walk the length of the boat here. Can't see up in there enough to see. Maybe if I stood up on the front of the boat here, I could be a little higher. I believe I see the reflection of some water right through over there. See, when I came in here in the kayaks, I could kayak right up to that. But I do see some water reflected. So I'm guessing the beaver pond is still pretty good. I see right here, I can see the bottom. how shallow this is. I don't think I bottomed out here. I don't see any mud kicked up. That's a pretty shallow running little boat, which is good for my purposes. I was looking online last night. I can buy a steering wheel set up. There's a little mud there. And I was thinking that I have enough smarts about me to probably figure out how to hook one up in here. If I had a little steering wheel sitting right about here, this is where the console is supposed to be, right here. I think I might be just happy with this motor as it is. I had some thoughts about putting a big old motor on it, but you know what? I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere. I kind of like this. It goes 10 miles an hour, which ain't hugely fast, but I don't need to go hugely fast in a boat like this. Most of the time, I just want to do what I'm doing right now, something like this. Go in slow around the edges and see what I can get into. Ain't a bad place to sit. I'm actually sitting down in here. I've got a little seat I could put back here. I think I said once that if this motor would plane off the boat, it'd be good enough. Well, it's never been a problem about planing off the boat. It runs about perfect like this, even with me right in the back. My neighbors over here. go real slow and go right across the middle here. This is usually where you're liable to hit something. So I'll just try it. And we'll see what we see. I go slow when I do this. Obviously, anything sticking out of the water, I'll stay away from. There's a tree right in front of me. I think I touched that one with the hull. Yeah, you know, if I had a little steering wheel right here, I could reach behind me and work the throttle. Or I could probably put a throttle adapter on there and make that work too. That's about all I need. I don't need much for a boat. It's amazing how the look of this lake changes depending on where you are. We rode up to almost to the bridge the other day, and on the way back I almost got turned around going the wrong way. It's not that hard to do. It's a big old lake. Somebody made the comment everything looks the same out here, and I thought it was an insult. I thought he was saying the scenery ain't good, but what he was saying was that he can't find his markers, you know, from out here very easily. I get that. Alright, I'm gonna wind this thing up and drain it. fish jump out there in front of the boat.